There's a 1984 Supreme Court case that was supposed to guarantee you competent legal representation, but instead it created a system where your lawyer can literally sleep through your death penalty trial, and that's considered good enough. In Florida, 1976, David Washington goes on a 10-day crime spree that's absolutely brutal and ends up killing 3 people. Washington eventually turns himself in and confesses to everything. His lawyer faces an impossible situation at sentencing. He's got a client who's confessed to multiple murders and he's trying to save his life. So the lawyer makes some strategic decisions. No character witnesses, no psychiatric evaluation, no pre-sentence report. His thinking, any of these could backfire and the prosecution has more ammunition for the death penalty. The judge sentences Washington to death. Washington then appeals, claiming his lawyer was incompetent, that a better lawyer would have done more investigation, brought in witnesses, gotten a psychiatric evaluation. The Supreme Court had to decide, when is a lawyer so bad that it violates your constitutional right to counsel? They created what's called the Strickland standard, a 2-part test. First, your lawyer has to be so objectively deficient, and second, you have to prove that a competent lawyer would have gotten you a different result. This standard is so ridiculously high that it's basically impossible to meet. And I mean impossible. Let me tell you about Calvin Burdine. His lawyer literally slept through his death penalty trial. Not just dozed off. We're talking unconscious for up to 10 minutes at a time. 3 jurors and a court reporter testified they saw him sleeping repeatedly. Burdine was convicted after 12 hours of testimony and a 17-minute jury deliberation. Then he was sentenced to death. And you know what Texas argued all the way to the Supreme Court? They said a sleeping lawyer was good enough because you can't prove he would have won if he stayed awake. Under the Strickland standard, lawyers have shown up to court drunk, made minimal contact with clients, and provided virtually no defense, and courts have said, good enough. The 6th Amendment says you have the right to counsel, but thanks to Strickland, that doesn't mean competent counsel. It doesn't mean awake counsel. It just means a warm body with a law degree sitting next to you. David Washington, the guy whose name is on this case, he was executed 2 months after the Supreme Court decision. Calvin Burdine spent 18 years on death row before finally getting a new trial. The system was designed to ensure fair trials. Instead, it creates a standard so low that your constitutional right to counsel has become a cruel joke. Your life shouldn't depend on whether your lawyer decides to take a nap.